Hey guys, Steve Basinger here. I just wanted to kind of go a little more in depth on how I caught my fish over this past weekend. It was my last North Dakota tournament. It was a club championship, 2-day tournament. And if you guys seen the other video or kept up with my posts, you'd see it. I had a pretty good weekend considering I finished fourth. I weighed the 2 biggest bags in I've ever caught on that lake, and amazingly, it wasn't even enough. These are 3 fish limits. I weighed 10.5 pounds in on day 1, and then 9.5 on day 2. So I just wanted to go over how I caught them, what baits I used. These were the 2 primary baits. This is a skirmish bait M9 Squarebill. You could say it's pretty much like a 1.5 size, a little bigger than that. This was a chartreuse and blue back. It's got some pearl to it, a little bit of orange throat. These are all custom painted baits, real good stuff. And then most of my fish really came on this soft jerkbait. This is a Strike King caffeine shad. Not real sure what color this is. It's not a pearl. It's more kind of like a translucent white. I actually meant to buy pearl and hit the wrong button, so here we go. Worked just fine though. Real clear water, and this is a smallmouth lake. So what I would do with the Squarebill is there was a lot of grass, but we were pretty much just focusing on less than 5 feet of water most of the time. I would take the Squarebill when there's grass that is coming up to maybe like 2 feet or so below the surface. I would take the Squarebill and burn it through there, rip it through the grass, just like you would a chatterbait or a trap or something like that. But this would float up a little bit, and it had the bright colors on it, and I really think that's what helped key these fish off. I think that because they weren't really eating this so much as they were just slapping at it. I would pretty much always have them outside the mouth. Always had them hooked good, thankfully, but they'd always have it outside the mouth, so I don't think they were really trying to eat it. I think they're just trying to kill it or something. But the reason I was able to land a lot of those was the rod I was throwing this on is a 7-foot medium heavy action Denali crankbait rod, a J2 series. I'm fishing that on 12-pound test. So like I said, crank it down, rip it out. It's a pretty common thing. You see that all across the country. As far as the soft jerkbait went, I'd throw it out there. I'd twitch it pretty much how you'd twitch any soft plastic jerkbait. You know, twitch it, twitch, pause, twitch, pause, something like that. And after I did that for maybe 10 yards of the retrieve, I would just reel it as fast as I could for maybe another 10 to 15 yards, something like that. And hopefully I could see the bait out there while I'm reeling it in, and then I'd kill it. A lot of times you could see fish chasing that up, but regardless, when you would kill it, they just had to eat it. And something about, I probably caught more fish just by burning it than I did actually twitching this thing. Again, so this isn't like, because it's translucent, it's not necessarily a bright color, but you could see it really well in that clear water, and I think that bright stuff is what keyed them off. With this, a lot of times I'd get them to slap at it once, and then the second time they'd come back and eat it. If they hit it after I burned it, they'd have the thing, you know. There were a couple I actually had to work on to get it out of their throat. They had it down so far. And this one I fished on a Denali medium heavy worm and jig rod that was another 7-footer. That was a covert series. 15-pound fluorocarbon on this one. And the grass was still important, but this, I was actually fishing in the wind, which really had me surprised. On day 2, it was very windy. And I think the fish were sort of relating to mud lines for where we were catching. I know they were for other people. But there was just a small little point that was maybe a foot deep on top, and then it dropped off and made a little shelf down to like a 2 to 3 foot flat, and then it would drop off, down to 6 feet or something like that. I could throw this up there into a foot of water, twitch it out, and then once it got to that 2 feet, that's where I'd get most of my bites. It was so windy, I couldn't really hold the boat with the trolling motor, so I just pulled the boat up in about 3 feet, dropped the power poles, and then we just caught fish after fish. It was unreal. That's where we started catching our quality too. So It was a real good time. Really going to miss it up here. If any of you guys out there in Facebook land ever get a chance to come to North Dakota, I know you guys probably think it's cold, and it is for many months out of the year, but the summers up here are amazing, and I almost guarantee you there's very few other states you could go to where the fishing is just that good. We don't catch those giants like you do on Guntersville and stuff like that, but just the average quality of smallmouth up here and the numbers that you catch is just blows my mind. Blows my mind. Really going to miss it. So next video you guys should probably see from me will hopefully be from a good time down in South Dakota for the TBF regional. So let's hope I don't bomb that one. I really like to advance the nationals. So until then, we'll see you guys.